Hey out there, legal warriors. In this video, I'm going to cover something that's very frustrating for people. It's why a defense attorney won't take your case. This again was a viewer question, and I've covered it in another way in prior videos some time ago, but it's really important that you understand why it is that us attorneys may not take your case, so you have a better chance to get the attorney that you want to help you in your situation. So if you're interested in this area of the law, stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 25 years. I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it. More people get the help they need. Now, as always, I'm just going to jump right into it. We have to think about the situation differently than you might want to think about it if you're a potential client looking for an attorney. So if you're that potential client out there looking for an attorney to help you in your criminal matter, you have to think about it. If you're calling an attorney that's lower rated or not as experienced, they are going to be in a position where they're more likely where they can't be selective and choose who they work with because, they need to keep the lights on and the doors open and, the family fed and all that, just like you do. But if you're happen to call a highly rated attorney or someone that's got a lot of experience and success, and that's probably who you're calling because it's your freedom and the future on the line, you have to think about it differently. Those attorneys, they don't need your case, right? They're in a position where they may want to take your case because what's made them successful is wanting to help people that are in need and need protection from the government and need saving and need support and need to think about themselves more positively and need to be forgiven. Can you tell I'm passionate? But what they don't need is a difficult client or a difficult situation or someone that's unreasonable or is going to put more stress on the attorney or the attorney staff than they already have just dealing with protecting people from the government. So what's the first reason that a highly successful and qualified defense attorney may not take your case? Number one is they don't think they can make you happy. Okay, that's the nicest way I've learned to put it. If there's a client that I think has an unreasonable expectation or just simply can't listen to how it really works and they're so stuck in anxiety that they keep saying, this is how it should work, this is how it works when it doesn't. And it's no offense to that person, but if the attorney doesn't think they can make you happy, why would they want to end up taking your case? Because, in this hypothetical, the attorney has all types of people who want them to take the case of the caller and therefore help them get out of the mess. And so if you're out there looking to hire an attorney, especially one that's in demand, you want to, really listen to what that attorney is telling you and really try to explain from your point of view what happened, but pay attention to what we're saying because we don't mind repeating it a second time or a third time, but the fifth or sixth or seventh time will really tell us that maybe this might not be the right match for us because of how much energy we may have to use saying the same thing again and again and again. Early in my career, in a kind way, I'd say, look, I'm going to buy you a t-shirt that has the answer you want on it, written in reverse so you can look in the mirror, right? And then you can see that answer anytime you want. So the main reason we won't take a case is we're not going to be able to make you happy. And what are the factors that we consider in that? Well, if you have a much worse criminal record, it may be harder to get the result that you need to save you. And so people that have really bad criminal records may have a harder time getting that highly qualified attorney to take their case. What's another thing that we think about? Well, what is the distance, right, of the court from the law firm that you're trying to hire, right? Is that someplace we go routinely, right? Or is it a 3-hour drive? Because people in more remote counties, there aren't so many good attorneys. And so if it's going to take an entire attorney's day to go to one court date, it may not be a case we can take, right? It may not be a case we can take just for our own, personal mental health and so that we continue to represent all the people that we have. What's another factor? Well, let's say that you're calling that attorney up and you just don't sound reasonable, right? You sound extremely demanding, or you want exact details of how this case is going to be handled in advance. A really highly qualified attorney doesn't need to be, nor do they want to be, micromanaged by the client, because the client is very good intentioned, and usually the smarter clients are more likely to fall into this category. People that are working in the tech field, stuff like that, they're very good intention, but that when we're fighting the client about, no, that's not how we should do it because here's why, right? Think of all that energy that we're using that should be being used on how to get you out of this mess, instead of repeating, no, that's not how we do it, over and over again, no matter that's what you saw on TV or that's what you think or that's how it should work. Because remember, defense work for the most part is subtle, right? It's getting the story accurately out of the suspect, the client, and then using the knowledge of the court, the way it works, and the way the particular prosecutors in the case work to set the case up to get that excellent result with no risk. But what it takes work from the client, it takes time, but your case may not be accepted by somebody if your position is extremely, hostile, unreasonable, and it's just going to drain a lot of energy from the defense attorney you're asking to take the case. What's another reason we may not take the case? We may not like you, right? It pays to be likable, right? And that's another way to put things. Just like you may not hire an attorney or a professional if you don't like them, we may not like you, right? And there may be our own personal reasons for that. So it's really important that in a professional relationship that you started out on a good note and we started on a good note as well. But that's, if you're calling up and you're rude to the staff that's taking and trying to set the appointment, the gatekeeper, the people that decide whether or not you even get an appointment, that message is getting passed along to the attorney, right, that you're considering hiring. And when that attorney is really busy and we're picking through 10 people that want to consult with us and we only have time for 2, are we going to pick, which 2 are we going to pick? The ones that say, yes, this person was rude to staff. We're going to take people, oh, this person was such a sweetheart, right? Because for popular attorneys, their intake team is filtering, right, the cases that we're willing to take. And again, this is typically, the question was, why is it that someone won't take my case? Not saying your case doesn't deserve to be taken. None of this may apply to you, but I'm answering the questions from doing this for more than 30 years on both sides about why it is that service professionals that are in high demand will take certain cases and not take others. So let's now turn it to the positive. How is it you can be more likely to get someone to take your case? Well, number one is, be real clear with the intake staff, the people answering the phone, what it is you're charged with, right? If you've ever been through this before, right? What your availability is, what times of day might work better for you for an appointment. And, just be as kind as you can. And a really good intake staff is going to be really empathetic to what you're going through, right? They're going to feel bad about what you're going through, and they're going to ask some questions about what you're going through. And they're going to try to understand what type of help you need and try to make our determination if can we help you. So, let them know what you do for work, right? And it's not to figure out if you can pay enough. That's not what we want to know. We want to know what you want to do for work, because we're trying to think about, right, how it is this type of case may affect your future, right? And we may want to know what your living situation is, right? Are you renting somewhere? Do you own? If you're renting somewhere, you may get thrown out for certain types of cases, right? We may confidentially ask what's your status, what's your immigration status, because people in different statuses have different risks for different types of charges. And also, if they ask about your prior history, don't just include Washington State, think about other places too. The more info, did you have anything in Georgia? Did you have anything when you lived over in Texas, right? I can't tell you how many people have called us in the last month who have prior history in Texas. Texas must be a tough place to live. I don't know. But the more, clear information you can give to that intake staff about what you're charged with, what you need, what your background is, the better job they're going to be able to do to determine whether or not it's a good match. Because the highly popular and in-demand attorneys, we really want to help you, right? That's what has made us successful, is we really want to help. And the secret to defense work is the more you want to help someone, the better job you're going to do helping them. So be the client that somebody would want to help, right? Be that client. If you reach out to a law firm and act that way to the gatekeepers, to the attorneys that you may interview, you're more likely for you to get the choice that you want because we're more likely to want you back. That's a beautiful thing about hiring your own private attorney. It's mutual agreement, and that's why we generally end up getting better results in public defenders because we've made a choice. We've chosen each other. Again, you're hiring someone that's not that successful, poorly rated, all that stuff. None of this may apply. They'll take anything that comes in the door. But that's probably not who you're calling. So I just made this because someone asked for it. It can be frustrating, but the long and short of it is be the client that someone would want to help, and then the great attorneys are much more likely to get in line and take on that burden and try to help you out of the situation that you need. So I hope you found that useful. If so, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it. More people get the help they need. More importantly, if you got a criminal problem in Washington State, feel free to reach out to our firm. If you get on board, we'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward. We will be there for you. Thank you.